If you happen to volunteer at a nursing home and you went and your clients were not there, there's a really good chance they all got bussed in to a local No Kings protest this weekend. Yes, we saw the worst of the worst come out of the woodwork this past weekend for these No Kings protests across the country, and I scoured the internet so you don't have to see some of the worst reactions to President Trump, his administration, ICE, Charlie Kirk, you name it, people were angry. They'll call it a peaceful protest, but look at what they're actually saying. Let's roll the first clip.
I don't know how anybody your age even thinks of having children, okay? Okay, millions of Democrats did not vote. Whose fault is that? We need to get ourselves together, and we might even need to be a little bit meaner because the Republicans don't mind being mean.
And by mean, what do you mean? Do you mean protesting? Do you mean...
Maybe we have to, I don't know, stop being so nice.
Because you seem like a pretty nice lady.
I'm a pretty nice lady, but I can be pretty mean, too.
Okay, and I have to ask this because people on the other side are going to say that they feel like the Democrat Party has been mean. Recently, with Charlie Kirk being assassinated,
He's a piece of garbage. Of course we were mean. I am so tired of people saying, oh, but, it's a terrible thing. No, Hitler is dead. I'm glad Hitler's dead. Evil people have no place in my world. He was a hateful human being. It was disgusting.
So that clip is coming from our very own Angelina Delfin from the Daily Signal. This is exactly who we are dealing with. These protests may have been technically peaceful, but the hateful rhetoric that leads to violence, that leads to political assassinations, that leads to assassination attempts on a president twice, all of that rhetoric was absolutely present. And it wasn't just here in Washington, D.C. that we saw that kind of stuff. It was also globally, nationwide. We see it in Chicago. Let's roll the next clip. If you did not understand the motion that she was making, she was motioning shooting in the neck to reference the assassination of Charlie Kirk from September 10th this year, just 1 month ago, when he got killed for having open conversation with college kids. And it turns out, surprise, surprise, this is a public school teacher. Her name is Lucy Martinez. She's a public school teacher in Chicago. And at the time of filming this, she has not been reprimanded. She's not been fired. She's faced no consequence other than scorn from the right online. And I'm sure she's not really reading our comments. And why is it that it's teachers that are the ones that are the most hateful, liberal, and violent? And this really just opens your eyes that crazy liberals are not fringe. They are the normal people, and your kids are around them every single day. They're spending most of their days with them, and who knows what she's telling her children, her school children in their class. And speaking of Charlie Kirk, here's an old man dressed like Charlie Kirk's assassin, Tyler Robinson. Again, it's just pure hate coming from this side, and they're completely protected from any consequence, and that's why they feel so empowered and emboldened to do stuff like this. And it's not just Charlie Kirk that they hate, but it's just Republicans in general. Let's roll clip 3.
In this context, who's a Nazi?
Stephen Miller's a Nazi.
So you're gonna kill Stephen Miller?
If I had a chance, yeah, I would.
I don't know if that's something I'd say on camera, bro.
I'd like you guys to guess where exactly this video is coming from, because if you guessed the Pacific Northwest, you are exactly right. This is coming from Seattle. No surprise there. This man admits that he wants to kill Trump's Deputy Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller. And Miller has been the target of a lot of public scorn recently because he's a sharpshooter. He says it like it is, and he doesn't really spare any feelings. Sorry, that's the Trump administration for you. But it's not just this protester that has his panties in a twist over it. It's also big Hollywood actors. Robert De Niro this week called him a Nazi on MSNBC, even though he is Jewish, and he said that he should be ashamed of himself. Robert De Niro, what are you doing? And also MSNBC, what are you doing having a Hollywood actor on to commentate on this and fan the flames of this violent rhetoric? Or take, for example, this man.
You gotta grab a gun! We gotta turn around the guns on this fascist system! These ICE agents gotta get shot and wiped out. The state machinery.
That clip comes from Chicago, and this is a man outside a No Kings rally this weekend calling for the assassination of all ICE agents. He's saying that they need to get shot in the head, you need to pick up your guns, and that you need to shoot fascism on sight when you see it. Notice how the people in the background are just walking by. They're totally used to this. They see nothing wrong with it. No one's even just stopping, looking at this crazy guy, clearly crazy and deranged guy. This is completely normal, and people are so desensitized to it. And that's the point of these peaceful protests. It's to create this rhetoric. And this is a classic. Let's roll this clip.
Freedom and democracy, and this is a nightmare that I'm living in, and I'm here to make a difference and to be loud and proud, and there's no other way I'd want to celebrate my birthday than with my parents and my best friend fighting for our country.
So for a birthday present, what do you hope happens? You know, you wake up tomorrow morning.
I hope that I see the obituary that we're all waiting for tomorrow. That's what I hope for.
You wishing that President Trump is dead?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Can I just say, I'm so glad I'm not a liberal, because if their idea of having a fun birthday weekend is going to a No Kings protest, I don't know what I would do with my weekends. That sounds incredibly lame. And who said it's socially acceptable to publicly wish death on anyone, let alone the president, just because you disagree with him? Where's the shame? Where's the scorn? If you are in a liberal echo chamber, there's none of that. And it totally makes sense. And it makes sense that when women like her are saying this out loud and it's being acceptable, then it leads to people going and trying to shoot our president, not once, twice, and taking other lives in the process. And if their rhetoric isn't violent, it's just straight up embarrassing. Let's roll this next clip. A big takeaway from No Kings 2.0 is that the protesters this time have decided to dress up in fun, whimsical, inflatable costumes at times and appear that they're having a really good time, because the media is saying that they're hateful, but they're just trying to show that they are peacefully protesting and that it's just a joyous occasion for them. But if you are sane and your brain is fully formed as an adult, you will see that it's not just people having fun. It's an adult temper tantrum sanctioned by the Democrat Party, and it's so embarrassing. I don't know how they get out of bed in the morning and do that. Devil's advocate, what change are any of these people affecting? I mean, sure, 7 million people want to go out and spend their Saturday doing this instead of watching college football, but what changes are they actually making? Well, it's pretty indirect, but it is still happening. The Hill reported on Monday that centrist senators are fearful of defecting from Democrat leadership because these people, these crazy liberal people, are hijacking the Democrat Party and controlling their top leadership from AOC to Chuck Schumer. One person told The Hill, "We would have enough votes to reopen the government if people were not terrified of getting the guillotine." And the radical left wing has completely taken control of the entire party like a parasite, and this is the consequence. So, where do we draw the line on these peaceful protests when they inspire violence? True threats are not constitutionally protected, and to my knowledge, not many people have faced consequences, legal or just socially, for participating in this group temper tantrum that happened across the nation. And Democrats are patting themselves on the back after Saturday, calling it successful. But what did it accomplish other than pushing their party further left? And the worst part of it all was seeing people expose their children to the hate and the violence and making them partake in it. They don't want kings, unless they're forcing you to get a vaccine, or letting pedophiles into your kids' bathrooms, firing you for not getting shot, or crowning Kamala Harris as Biden's replacement without a single delegate vote. I don't care about some inconsequential group chat from the Young Republicans, a Trump AI video, or mean things that you think Caroline Leavitt said, when this is exactly what's going on in your local community with your neighbors, and this is what they think of not just President and his administration, but this is what they think of you if you support any part of his agenda. It's hypocritical, and how much longer can the Democrat Party sustain after this? I think that this No Kings 2.0 protest this weekend is just a sign of a party in its death throes.